Driver is a dangerous driver. This has been going on for the past 10 minutes. Either he's gonna get in the left lane or he's gonna surprise attack me. I gotta get ahead of this guy. It's just dangerous, man. It's dangerous.
He's got people
gotta get away from this guy. Alright, I'm ahead of him now. Yay! Oh, hey, he turned it off. Are you serious?
Is he in the same lane? Still?
Yeah, he's still.
Oh, you know,
he only wanted to ram us.
Fooled you.
They were the Millers. This is good tea. Much better than soda.
What is the speed limit? Stupid question. 75?
70.
7?
Well, I think it might be 65 in Arizona.
Phoenix!
Phoenix, not Vegas. Phoenix, not Vegas.
You a big hockey fan?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I watch hockey. I watch it a lot. I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of it because let me say it. I like the Flyers, I like the Phantoms and everything else. I like the Bruins. It's more the fact that I would watch it. I tried to play it at one point too. I'm not as big as a fan of it because I really didn't grow around people that liked hockey. I went to school with a lot of people that loved hockey.
Cool.
So that's pretty much how I got exposed into Flyer country and whatnot.
Yeah. I was talking with Felix earlier about this neat little documentary I saw about the rivalry between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. That was an interesting one because, you know,
the Penguins, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, for the first 30 years, it was Pittsburgh didn't win a single game.
Mm-hmm.
They just kept on getting beat down every single time until Mario Lemieux. And then that's when the rivalry really heated up and they started winning. They got some cups. And then it kind of died down again. And then Sidney Crosby. And now it's I love it. I will watch those games because, you know, I'll watch Montreal, Boston. I'll watch any California team playing another California team.
You know, like people don't think about how much we Californians actually love our hockey.
Yeah.
You know, I would have never guessed that you guys love hockey that much, honestly.
We love violence, and you know,
we love violence.
We love violence, and we love violence fast.
Damn.
Like I said, I love hockey and boxing. Occasionally, I go to a boxing match when a hockey game breaks out. It's great.
Damn. Clear the arena. Clear it.
It's interesting. So why are you into Boston? Just because of geographically where you were?
Pretty much. Yes, geographically. I had a friend named Paul Maroney and whatnot who was a big Bruins fan, and I've known that kid since kindergarten, and pretty much his team became one of my favorite teams as well. So that's kind of the thing. It's more, I guess you are right. It's more like geographical thing.
Super passionate fan base, the Bruins. Super passionate.
Definitely. I would have to say though, I also like the Blackhawks. I would have to say that.
Oh god, you're naming teams, man, that are like, you know, the worst final for me in history was the Chicago Blackhawks and the Boston Bruins. I mean, it sucked to be a Canucks fan.
You were just hoping that it would end in a tie?
I was hoping the arena would get nuked. No. I mean, I don't like Boston, obviously, because they beat Vancouver in the 7th game. That was our cup. And Chicago, I would say the rivalry has been cooled down because there were a few players that have since been traded out.
Yeah.
And you had home ice advantage, didn't you, in that one?
I think so. But no, it's more now, I guess, individual stuff like Brad Marchand on the Boston Bruins and, you know, the guys that were on the Chicago back when the rivalry was intense because, you know, Chicago kept on booting out Vancouver in the playoffs, which just sucked to happen year after year, and San Jose is no stranger to that, you know. But it builds up great rivalries, and it's, you know, it makes the fan base really passionate and energized. It's great business for both teams, I guess, which is why I really hope that Seattle gets a team, because that'd be great for Vancouver.
Jesus, if Seattle gets a team for hockey,
Seattle is I felt that Seattle has been a market that's needed a hockey team. There's no excuse for them not to have.
Can you try to say Vegas, we don't need a hockey team? I don't understand why we need a hockey team here in Vegas. Give it to Seattle, please. We have a football team, like a soccer team and whatnot coming in. But then on top of that,
I mean, we do need 2 more teams in the Western Conference to even things out.
In what, hockey? Or
I mean, just in general to even out the amount of teams on each in each division.
Mm-hmm.
We need 2 more. We need 2 more in the Western Conference.
Mm-hmm.
In the Western Conference. So I mean, like, yeah, Vegas and Seattle would be good marks. Well, Vegas, I really don't think they should be putting a hockey team in Vegas.
I don't see it.
Well, here's the thing: you guys have a homeless hockey team right now.
That's a great point.
You guys have a hockey team, and they can't get shit done.
They can't win, so why are we making?
They can't. That's not even they can't win. If they could even show up to a arena.
I'm sorry. I mean, I gotta agree with you. I mean, if you're gonna give a town such as Sin City a team, give it something that actually means something, like a team that can get stuff done, where the theme is actually, pretty relative to what they're doing here. I mean, where would you really try to go in the middle of the desert and you see a hockey arena?
Yeah.
Hey, Phoenix has a hockey team.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, the Coyotes.
Are you kidding me?
I am not.
Well, for how much longer do they have it?
Are you sure it doesn't melt every year?
They've almost lost their team on like 3 occasions in the past decade.
I mean, it's no fault. Well, maybe the players. I think Phoenix has one of the best coaches in the league. I honestly do. And there's been so many management and financial issues, and just it's been tough. It must be tough to be a
They've
player
only
for.
got and they also have the only goalie in the league who has a point.
Yeah. Mike Smith scored a goal.
Yeah, their goalie scored a goal cross ice in the last 0.2 seconds of the game.
That was an awesome thing.
That was amazing to see.
How the hell does that work?
he was just clearing the puck from because it was they had an empty net on the other side, and Mike Smith was trying to. Is it Mike Smith or Matt Smith? Mike Smith. Mike Smith. I was confusing with the doctor for some reason. But Mike Smith has the puck in front of him, and he's just getting swarmed because they have an extra man. Mm-hmm. He's overblown, so he just clears the puck across the ice. It goes across, bounces, goes into the net. And with 0.2 seconds to go, the buzzer goes off, and the spotlight shows up on Mike Smith. It was like
a great moment.
Yeah, because everyone's like, wait. It was great because the arena's just like, wait, what just happened? Because it wasn't because what they were expecting the end game horn, not the goal horn.
That's so bullshit. I'm sorry.
Mike Smith has more points than most NHLers.
Oh, God. Damn, man.
Is there any kind of weird equivalent to that in other sports? Like,
like kicking a field goal and having it bounce off of the field goal post.
Okay.
And then going in the field goal post.
Okay.
Sort of like that.
When you say is there any equivalent, you mean to like someone scoring that shouldn't?
No, like a rare occurrence, like
a rare
goalie to score.
It's rare for a lineman to get a touchdown.
Yeah.
Or a defensive lineman to get.
Quarterback get a touchdown?
No. A quarterback can get it. Quarterbacks run all the time.
Yeah,
The rare thing is what will happen is if someone. Now this is one of the 2 ways it happens is if a receiver if a running back fumbles the ball and a lineman picks it up and is close enough to run in for the goal.
Yeah.
That it can happen. Or if someone on defense intercepts the ball and while running back they fumble.
No, there's another one.
Also if the pass gets tipped.
Yeah.
And a lineman happens to be the one to catch a pass that was knocked out of the way, because a lineman cannot catch a pass. It's an illegal play.
Yeah.
But if someone on the defense touches the ball and knocks it towards the lineman, it's anyone's game, whoever can get to the ball first.
Okay.
Another rare thing would probably be in football again, scoring a touchdown. Like the kicking team scoring a touchdown on an onside kick. So an onside kick is a way to get the ball back if they're trailing points.
Yeah, but you have to kick it like at least 15 yards.
Yeah, you have to kick it 15 yards before the kicking team can even touch the ball. So if the kicking team touches the ball, they can then run with it and very rare will a person actually kick the ball.
It's a last-ditch effort to try to get a second touchdown in a row.
Yeah.
It comes from rugby. Oh, here's another one that I think they might have just written out of the rules.
What's up?
But I think one of the rarest ways to score points in football is you could do a drop goal, which is from rugby. It's harder to do with a football because the football has a different shape that's not meant to do that. But not Drew Brees. Who was the guy on the Patriots before Brady? Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe is like I think he's the last person to actually do it. He had the ball and they were at like the 1 yard line, but there was just too much defense, and they only needed a point to win. So he drops the ball and kicks it because the ball has to hit the ground, and you have to kick it either after it hits the ground or as it hits the ground. He drops the ball, it hits the ground, he kicks it in, and the referees were confused because it was a completely legal thing that hadn't been written out of the sport since it kind of evolved from rugby.
Interesting.
And it was like, well, they win the game.
Yeah, that actually happened last year a little bit with the Dallas Cowboys and the Lions. The Dallas Cowboys were beating the Lions by a touchdown, and no, actually only 3 points. And Matthew Stafford, the quarterback for the Lions, if I'm not mistaken, he made an amazing drive to the 1 yard line, and the play to get into the end zone was a simple pass. Okay, it was just second goal on the 1 yard line. He decided to rush everybody on his line, and before the Dallas Cowboys even got like set and prepared, they hiked the ball, and Matt just walked right into the 1 yard into the end zone. It was
because you don't have to wait for the defense to line up.
Yeah,
as soon as the offense is ready to go, they can just go. That's why the defense tries to call play really fast.
Yep. And that's something.
And also, what's funny is, the defense can also huddle right next to the ball. The offense has to be like 10 yards off from the ball where they huddle. So it gives them time. So the defense can be like, oh shit, here they come.
There's also one where if they're like, it's very rare. I think you see it more in high school games now rather than the pro. Is the quarterback will fake as if he just hiked the ball. They'll give him the ball, but the thing is, it'll look like they just called a false start or something like that, and the quarterback will run or will walk through the line and wait until he's like clear and then take off running.
It's a trick play because I can tell you, formerly being a center, it's a legal pass due to just pick up the ball from the ground and hand it back to the quarterback. That's still the center giving the ball to the quarterback. or another trick play is like they'll act like there's something wrong with the ball, like pick up the ball, and again it's more of a high school thing. I think a college has pulled it off, and people were so pissed that the college pulled it off. But it's like you pick up the ball like there's something wrong with it, and you like tell the quarterback, hand it to them. The quarterback starts running like off the field, like he goes sideways, like he's going off the field to talk to the coach, and they just take off on the sideline. Because normally people just in there like, oh fuck, okay, I guess we gotta wait for the
play. That's awesome.
There are rare plays everywhere in like professional sports.
Well, football, that is the one saving grace of it. Is football gets to be like a chess game.
Oh yes.
Where you can like you can be like, okay, so I'm gonna try to pass now. I'm gonna run up here. And now, what kind of defense are they gonna try to put up against me? What can I run here that will get past that defense? That is kind of cool. If they had a Madden mode where I could just pick the plays and let the computer actually execute them, as opposed to trying to.
That's the thing though. It's like I like the science of football because it makes you think. Just like how you just said, it's like a chess game. I honestly, when it comes to watching football, I can't stand watching the full 15 minutes because it gets boring to me.
Well, also you mean the 60 minutes that it takes to play 15 minutes?
Oh, God.
That's one reason I have trouble watching football. Well, I've tried watching it, but just it's like, okay, there was a timeout and stuff. The action is halted for too long for me. I love the speed of hockey.
Yeah, exactly. And also, with hockey, if the play stops, the time stops. And in football, there's two different ways to do it. If there's a run or a completed pass that stays in bounds, time keeps going.
Yep.
If there's a incomplete pass, time stops.
Also, there's a lot of tension in a football game, don't get me wrong, because the time is drawn out, but Felix, you've really gotten the sense of desperation from a team in the dying seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, like the moment, the moment the team that's losing goes, fuck it, we're going to do this without our goalie. That's basically going all in, because I'm trying to figure out what is worse, not scoring on a 5-3 power play, or because that happens actually all the time. It's like, not scoring on a 5-on-3 power play, or when you miss an empty net. Because like whenever someone misses their shot and there's not a goalie,
empty net, I'd say. Probably that's.
Like I think one of the funniest things I saw was, I forget who was, but they get a breakaway to an empty net, and all they have to do is let the puck slide in, but they try to shoot it from right after the blue line, and it goes ping. The other team grabs it and scores. It's like, all you had to do was let that. If you'd have gone 5 more feet.
That's kind of like the equivalent of in basketball. Somebody gets the ball like from across the court, and they run across the court to do a layup, and they end up going for the layup, and they miss terribly. That happens so much nowadays. I swear.
You know, I can't stand basketball, and I actually grew up.
I don't watch it.
I grew up at a time when the Sacramento Kings were still good.
They're good?
No, I said I grew up in a time when the Sacramento Kings were actually good.
They were?
Yeah. Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, they used to go to the Western Conference Final against the Lakers all the time. The Kings and Lakers was a huge rivalry. The Lakers were good too.
We're not going to go into basketball.
But I was going to say, but I will say, I can't stand basketball. NBA Jam, still one of my favorite sports. NBA Jam and NFL Blitz, because they took a real arcadey approach to sports. I absolutely love that. NBA Jam, I used to cheat. I'd be the Sacramento Kings, but because at the time it was programmed, they had Spud Webb and Tisdale. So I'd be Tisdale because I could have Spud Webb pass it into me, and I would shoot the ball from the free throw. I'd shoot the ball from downtown, and 1 out of 3 times, because he had such a high 3-point rating, 1 out of 3 times it would be the 3-pointer. But if not, Spud Webb was the fastest guy in the game, so he would already be down there to grab the ball and dunk it in from the rebound.
Wasn't there a bug that some developer left in for one of revenge on that team?
No, not on that team. Revenge against the Bulls, because the guy was a Indiana Pacers fan.
Okay.
So if you had the Bulls versus the Pacers, the stats on the Bulls swapped so that it was the lowest it could be.
Damn, that's cold. You hate the Bulls that much?
So yeah, when the Bulls played the Pacers, the Bulls had a huge disadvantage. That was a bug that was programmed in by a Pacers fan who was a developer on the game.
Sneaky. Oh my.
Yeah. But also, like I said, NFL Blitz. That's what I was expecting the XFL to be when they had the XFL, because NFL Blitz was like pro wrestling and football combined.
Vince McMahon tried to get that all over there.
Yeah, it did not. But hey, give him credit for trying. He went up head on against the NFL. So
twice. He tried to have, what was it, The Rock versus Mankind play on the Super Bowl at halftime. In a hardcore match for the title and whatnot. That didn't do anything. And it was weird because it was at halftime at the Super Bowl. Nobody was in the stadium for the wrestling match. There was nothing, so it was quiet as hell while these two were fighting. And then all you heard was like, what the fuck is this going? Like all you heard were people saying like, what?
Because it was an empty arena match. I remember that.
It did not make sense at all.
You know what? I've got to give this man a lot of credit when it comes to business, because he tries so many things. He will try a concept until it fails. Mm-hmm. And even if something fails, there's a revival. He really believes in second chances with people and with certain concepts. And I gotta respect him for that, because he knows how to run his business, and it's about to be 75 again.
Yep.
Jesus.
But. Well, yeah, the Arizona's kind of barren, so they make sure that they can let you get through it.
But what was it? Vince McMahon, grew up watching the Attitude Era, the shit that I watched and everybody else loved about wrestling, and then stupid PG era
McMahon?
Vince McMahon is the owner of World Wrestling Entertainment, formerly WWF.
Oh, okay. I thought he had something to do with baseball. Okay.
Yeah, no. Baseball, that's a sport I cannot stand. I
can't stand watching.
Well, I mean, I can see the fun in playing it. You know what brings me so much joy is I've talked to baseball players that come into the Nugget after playing the Reno Aces, the other AAA guys. Who, I was talking to one guy, and he gave me like $100 tip because we were talking, and I'm like, I've got to say, I respect that you're out there doing playing. He's like, luckily he's like someone believed in me he's like, I wanted to go to the military, but someone believed me that I could do well, playing a game and making money. So because AAA contracts are actually pretty good too, but. I told him, I'm like, I just cannot watch a game. He's like, oh yeah, it's boring as shit and expensive. He's like, and going to a game, he has the exact same thing as me. He's like, going to a game is even worse because at least at home you can change the channel, the beers, whatever price you paid for it at the store. You can make your own food.
Hot dog. I can't stand that. Honestly, I can't stand watching, a baseball game. I went to plenty of baseball games in my childhood and whatnot with the Phillies, especially when they went to the World Series. But it just didn't catch me.
So, something I see at a lot of baseball games, and I think this is smart, is there's a lot of guys who'll be at baseball games and they'll be wearing radio headsets. They'll be listening to the radio broadcast while watching it. Because baseball is one of the sports where you could listen to the radio broadcast and lose nothing.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I agree. It's like, the thing is this, it makes you more sense people wearing the radio headsets because if you're up in the nosebleeds, you can't hear what the announcers are saying.
Same thing at a football game too.
They tried an experiment, I want to say at least 20 years ago, where they just like, okay, we'll remove the announcers, we'll remove the commentators, and it was terrible.
Removing announcers from a baseball game? Yeah. Holy crap! So you're just sitting there waiting for a guy to... That sounds like
a terrible idea. Let's never do that again.
They didn't do that in full season, right?
I can't remember. It was for a few games at least.
Yeah, that
one game. I don't know. I just remember they did that.
That sounds like the worst possible idea that you could have. It's like, why not? Oh yeah, this is why.
Sometimes they do bad ideas in sports, like the time they were gonna do a glow-in-the-dark hockey puck.
Were they gonna play the game at night?
People were having trouble seeing the puck, so they wanted to make the puck more.
So wait. They were having trouble seeing a black puck against white ice. So they wanted to make a lighter puck.
Exactly. They wanted to make a flashy puck with lights and just out of it.
I was gonna say I'd love to see the epileptic hockey player suddenly drop on and then it only gets worse when he scores. or the poor epileptic goalie. Stop that thing.
And the goal lights up as well.
He just passes out every time the puck comes his way.
God damn. A lot of silly ideas
what there used to be on television broadcasts. HD, by the way, HD has made hockey so much better because you can actually see the puck. They used to draw a blue line behind the puck during the live broadcast, so you could follow the puck. Because on the standard TV, you couldn't really see it. Hey, you remember that, right, Dom?
Yeah.
Where there'd be like a blue line trailing behind the puck.
Yeah.
What a time we live in.
Yeah. I mean, you know what a sport I really also do enjoy? Like I even have my scarf with me. Because the Seattle Sounders, I root for them. Or they're Yedlin. I'm so sad because I love West Ham United when it comes to the Premier League. But DeAndre Yedlin, who is one of the fastest players you'll ever see. If you ever watch him in a game, I saw him live, and that fucker is fast. He just has so much speed behind him.
Jeez.
It is insane. Well,
the Seattle Sounders again are
a Major League Soccer team. Well, yeah, but DeAndre Yedlin is going to the Tottenham Hotspurs, who's the rival of my team, West Ham.
Oh shit!
It's crazy how big soccer is. It really is.
Honestly, I never knew how big soccer is or how big football is or whatnot until I went into college. Honestly, I mean, no, not even at high school. Yeah, I went in. I mean, I didn't know that the national sport for almost every European country and every South American country out there is soccer. Never would have expected that.
Yeah, no, it's great sport too, and it's constantly moving. And also they avoid the bullshit. It's like, no, you stop playing. You're playing this at the end of the period.
And then on top of that, these guys have.
And you know how long
physically fit? Like,
oh yeah,
90 minutes.
By the way, I always say, like, soccer is the one sport where I think I could see so much protest from the male audience if the players started playing shirtless, because, like, you know, a football player, it's like, you know, it's like you could have the shape of an offensive lineman. You know, a right guard doesn't exactly have the most pristine athletic shape. He's not going to be in the body issue of ESPN.
No, not at all.
And there's even some hockey players that are a little more on the fluffy side. But soccer players, all those guys, because, like, even in basketball, they switch out who's in every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like, soccer, you get 3 substitutions. So chances are, if you're in the game, you're gonna be in the game the full 90 minutes.
Yeah.
You have like a 1 in 3 chance of, because let's see, you have less than a 1 in 3. You have closer to a 1 in 4 chance of being substituted at some point in the game. That's if you use all of your substitutions. So yeah, you have to be this just Adonis physique to be in there, and every soccer player he takes off his shirt and it's like watching a swimmer, where it's like, what muscle is that? I don't even know.
That is true. I mean, I think that's probably why American football has to stop and start type thing, because of the fact that their players, they're used to sprinting for long periods of time. But the thing is this, with all that extra equipment on them and how hard these guys hit, like, I've been hit multiple times for football players, and I've been knocked on my ass, and like, did I get hit by a truck? And I think that's probably what separates American football from football. It's just the pads.
I dated a rugby player, and even up in Nevada, I work out with the UNR's rugby team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, rugby's a great sport. Rugby's very fun.
I have enjoyed watching the hell out of it.
Yeah, you should try playing it sometime. Holy crap! That's a you want to take it to impossible level? Play with some Samoan chicks.
Oh god.
But yeah, rugby's a fantastic sport to watch, but it's just so different from football, because it's like soccer. They're constantly moving. There's not a lot of stoppages, and when the stoppages do happen, they throw it back in and they throw in the extra time. So you're still sitting there for 90 minutes or 80 minutes for the game. You're there the full time.
So there's 3 periods to a football game?
No, 4 quarters.
4 quarters.
3 periods is hockey.
Right.
2 halves is soccer and rugby.
Makes sense.
Baseball has 9 innings, or however many it takes to break a tie.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, that had to be the worst game to watch. There were 2 games last year that went like 18 innings.
Yeah.
And then there was
2 games for the price of 1, right?
No, 2 games. Yeah, 2 games in a row for a team that went 18. I think it was the Angels that played 2 games in a row that went like 18 innings. And I looked up the longest baseball game in history was like 29 innings or so.
Yeah.
Just to the point where it's like, I would think at some point they would just go have the batter and the batter and the pitcher play rock paper scissors just to get it over with.
Yeah, it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was like in the 50s or 40s or 50s that game went to 29 innings, and the game did not stop until midnight that night, and that game started around 4.
Yeah, and there was a football game that did. I remember a football game like when I was a kid, or I think it was when I was a kid. There was a football game that actually had 4 overtime periods.
That's why
it took that long to actually get someone in field goal range that didn't shank a field goal. Which, by the way, I think the equivalent to like an own goal in soccer or missing an empty net is when you miss a conversion. Like because you could kick from anywhere on the field in football. However, after you score a touchdown, you're kicking from the 2-yard line, dead center. That's it. That's the one place you have to get. That is the one place you're pretty much guaranteed a point if you're getting paid to be a kicker. Yep. You literally have one job. They're not asking you to kick it and run the ball. They're not asking you to kick it and block. They're asking you to kick a ball 2 yards. There was actually, I don't know if you follow college football, the school I was talking about earlier in UNR, there's a thing called, I think Blue Sunday or Blue Saturday or Blue Thursday, I think it was, where Nevada UNR played Boise State, and you remember this game?
Yep.
The UNR played Boise State. The game is tied. This kicker for Boise has not missed a field goal from an extreme distance. He has not missed field goals at all that season. He is at at like the 10-yard line or 12-yard line, and they go for a kicker, and they ice it, so they run the clock, they make sure they run the clock, and they're kicking like with 1 second to go, so it's a guaranteed win. He shanks it left. They go into overtime. Boise gets the ball. Boise brings it back up to about the 15-yard line or so, but they're on 4th down, so they're like, we're going to kick it. He shanks it far right. They missed 2 goals in a row. Nevada was unranked at this time. Boise was like number 3 in the nation. But Nevada runs it back and wins. And Nevada runs it back and wins and knocks Boise out of contention for pretty much a guaranteed spot in the championship game.
Yep. They were mad as hell.
Oh, I feel so bad because people who were sending this kid death threats.
Oh, yes.
Like people that take their sports way too seriously were just...
Looks like Buffalo Wild Wings had a hand in that. I'm sorry.
Oh, what did Buffalo Wild Wings do?
You know how like, the commercials are? Like, wow, this game is awesome. Yeah, I kind of wish it didn't have to end, though.
Whoops.
Yeah, it was just, yeah, I felt so bad for that kid because he's a kid. This is a pretty much 19, 20-year-old kid that you're sending death threats to as a 45-year-old guy.
I'm sorry,
because you're pissed off about the score of a game.
That's how serious it gets when people bet money on a team. It's not about like kids playing college. You're one step closer to playing pro. You're still pretty much in ESPN. Like you're still considered a big thing if you play college. High school, not that much. Middle school, please. You're not even on their radar and whatnot. They want to see what you can bring to the table if we even got you in the pro league. And for him to miss 2 kicks from what 10, 12 yards out. I'm sorry.
That was he needed the Heimlich on that one because that was a bit that was a choke. Which we talked about fighting earlier. One of my favorite games to play on the Xbox One. Have you played Dive Kick?
Hell yes.
Dive Kick is so great.
Dive Kick.
Yeah. I have like an hour 38-minute thing of me playing Dive Kick where I have Johnny Gat from Saints Row 4 and I'm just trying to win a story mission with the yellow gem for that achievement. Man, 40 minutes, like 52 minutes of that is me on the final boss, just trying to beat that one guy.
God damn, dude. Wait a minute, they put Johnny Gat in Dive Kick now?
Yeah, Johnny Gat's in Dive Kick, the edition.
See, I was playing Dive Kick back at RTX in 2013. I played the shit out of that. Even went up at Center Stage and played the developers of Iron Galaxy and whatnot. Yeah,
that game is super fun. I mean,
it's fun.
And it's such a simple concept. You can dive or you can kick.
Exactly.
But it's brilliant. Yeah.
It's more about just psyching out your opponent.
Yeah, and there's like a real strategy to it, especially because everybody kind of has a different pattern by which they kick, which I'm finding Kenny is a very tough person to play because
he plays everybody.
Yeah, because you have to. Well, he's tough to play as him because you have to figure out first which dive kicker you're playing as.
Yep. That's the one thing that I didn't like though, because when I was playing at RTX 2013,
dude, Baz is OP.
Yes. So that's the thing. It's like when I was playing with Kenny against the developers on Center Stage in 2013, Kenny got Baz 3 fucking times. Like I could have beat him. It was I was winning 3-2 at that time out of 5, and literally Baz just kept coming up, and he went from 2 to 5, and I was like, you know what? That sucks. Yeah, I would have legitimately beat a developer at his own game.
Yeah. What's funny is there's the yellow gem because the yellow gem boosts all of your stats by 30%, but you're in sudden death every time. So it starts off if someone's beating you 4-0. You get a fraud detection warning, and you get fraud detected if you lose, if you get shut out. But if they get you to 4-0 and you beat them,
5-4.
Yeah, 5-4. There will be a choke detection warning when it's 4-4, and then choke detected when you win.
That is like one of the funniest things that they could have put into the game. Like fraud detection, I always used to chant along with them. Fraud. That, oh my goodness, I had had so much fun in that game. I really want to play that game again.
Yeah, well, you have Xbox One or PS4?
I have both, actually.
Yeah, it's on.
Really?
It's on there.
Oh, shit. How much?
$10.
Oh, cool. $10, huh?
Yeah, not bad.
Looks like I got something to do when I get back home from Austin. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, such a fun game.
You see, that's the thing. When I get back home, I gotta get back on the Master Chief Collection. I gotta get right back on the streaming because I'm gonna miss 2 games coming out. GTA 5, because that came out today. What else is coming out?
Not as good. Dragon's Age Inquisition.
I'm missing that one. What do we call it? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I missed Assassin's Creed as well. I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan. So those are 3 games that I missed out for streaming. But I know as soon as I go home, I'm gonna try and get them and just play through them, like just beat them all in one night and record as much as possible. Keep up with on the schedule because I'm still on Sunset Overdrive. Jesus.
Is that good? How are you doing it?
Confusing controls.
Yeah.
Fun as hell.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun. Like, I've had a lot of fun playing that game.
I didn't know what to make of it because it seemed so over the top that it could have been very easily. It looks fun, but it isn't. You know, it's just so crazy.
I went into that game thinking I'm not going to have fun with this. I went into the store and asked, what is Sunset Overdrive all about and whatnot. Like, it really didn't look appeasing to me. But when I sat down and played it because I was bored, I was literally having the time of my life playing that game. And it's one of those games where I have to say, play it if you really want to just like sit back and just have a chill day, you know? Okay.
I still need to get Goat Simulator. Speaking of chill days.
Like I said, Trials Evolution, Alex was saying, you know, it's better watching me. She's like, because even though I'm terrible at hockey, she's like, well, even though I'm terrible at NHL 15 online, I'm great in GM mode. But in online play, like I have my record is like 10, 68, and 6.
Oh.
I showed, or 10, 59, and 6, and I showed Dom this.
Oh, God.
But I have so much fun playing that game. She's like, this is way better than watching you play Trials Evolution. Because I enjoy Trials Evolution, but the same thing as watching me play that game is like, you motherfucker!
It's like 3 seconds. Fuck! 5 seconds. Fuck! Oh man, that game is fun too, but it gives me a headache after a while because literally that's how I play it. I can't play if I get one death or like one fault in that game, I gotta restart. I can't do the whole track like one time and then try to do it again without any faults. Cannot do it. I don't know why.
Yeah, man, I wish there were power-ups in there.
Dude, do you know how fun, how much more fun that game would be with power-ups?
Yeah, by the way, that's like, I love racing games, but I don't like super simulator racing games. I like them to be a little more arcadey. And I especially love racing games that either have destruction or power-ups.
Yes. Mario Kart. Dude.
It's so much fun.
My goodness. What else is there? I mean, I'm missing out a lot. Oh, I'm also currently playing Five Nights at Freddy's. According to a lot of people, the second one came out. And that game is just like, what the shit? I don't know anymore.
Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yeah.
What's that about?
You're in this, I would say, like, closed down variant of Chuck E. Cheese's or like the Dave & Buster's, some type of like kids palace back in the late 90s and everything else. You're a security guard that has to watch over, you know, the store and whatnot, and watch out for the animatronics. The animatronics, the creators and whatnot, they decide they don't want their joint to lock up, so every night at night they want to let them like run loose and whatnot, just like so that way they don't just lock up and rust. However, the animatronics think that you are an endoskeleton without a costume on, and so that they're going to try to stuff you into a costume. And there's been a whole bunch of like rumors and theories saying like the past animatronics killed like 5 kids, and that forced the pizza place to get closed down the first time.
I'm actually gonna tell you, and I'll play this after we're done with our talks. There's a game theory about Five Nights at Freddy's that references like the real life, like likely inspiration for it.
Yeah,
and it is that is the creepiest thing ever, because like games like that don't freak me. I mean jump scares. Yeah, I'll jump. I don't scream, but I jump. But to find out like there's some real demented shit actually happening.
Yeah, like I mean, I'll let you know a little bit of the theory and whatnot. It's basically back in the early 90s.
Yeah, 93.
Yeah, a guy got fired from one of those like places.
A Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese, and I believe like a couple months later he killed 5 out of 6.
No. He shot 5 employees. One actually survived,
and he played dead.
Yeah, he played dead, and he
took him to jail. Got him.
And he was a damning piece of evidence against the state. Yeah. And I guess recently, like back in August, this guy's execution was not stayed, but it's been delayed. He's been on death row. But yeah, it's creepy when he goes into like the theory behind the game and like this is the likely inspiration. It's
and the theory is basically so you have like these 5 animatronics that are currently in circulation in the game. It's Foxy, Bonnie, Chica, Freddy, and then there's a
Golden Freddy.
Golden Freddy, yes. Now, the 5 animatronics, except Golden Freddy, they have like a set thing. As in, you have to check the cameras and whatnot, and if they get too close, you have to shut the doors, you have to turn on the lights and make sure that they don't get you. You have to survive to 6 in the morning. Now, Golden Freddy is different because Golden Freddy ignores everything about the rules and physics. He will appear in front of you, and he'll be limp, he'll be lifeless, and he won't come and kill you. Sometimes he won't. He'll just fuck with you. And then sometimes he will come and kill you, but when his face pops up as a jump scare, he doesn't kill you. It doesn't give you a game over. It crashes your game. It's literally the code to crash your game entirely.
It's so intensely thought out.
Yeah. I'll play the game theory for you after this, and you can listen to it.
So the game theory and whatnot, he relates it to what if that's the guy, like the protagonist for Five Nights at Freddy's. What if it's not the protagonist? What if you're the antagonist? The guy that that killed 5 people in real life. Those are his memories, his nightmares as he sleeps in jail. It's so freaking creepy because they keep replaying and they keep getting more intense and intenser, and it's like, what the hell is going on? And they just released a sequel to it, and they've added so much to it. People don't know if it's either a sequel or a prequel yet. Hasn't really been explained yet, but it gets more demented and it gets like more creepy and everything else. It's scary.
What's your favorite horror game that you've played?
Well, I don't really play horror games, but the one I'm really enjoying right now is Alien Isolation.
Oh, that's a good game. That is so good. I got to play that at PAX.
I got it on the Xbox One, and I fell in love with that game. Like, I went into that game thinking I'm not going to have fun because I don't play horror games. I don't like playing horror games where let me scratch that. I don't like playing horror games where I cannot fight, and like try to escape. This game gives you a chance to fight. It's just not recommended, it's not recommended, especially with that damn alien. And it's like, I beat that game and it was fun. It made me realize, like, this is the future of next-gen gaming. They can put a character, a protagonist, without a gun. You don't have to have a gun. You just have to survive. Simple as that. See how well you can survive.
Yeah, well, that's what I loved about, like, my favorite horror game is Silent Hill 2.
Yes.
And Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill, I love that series, and I'm glad that Hideo Kojima is going to be part of it. Mm-hmm. Because Hideo Kojima is so good at understanding like how to develop a game. Guillermo del Toro is so good at knowing horror. The horror of Silent Hill is like you can't see much, and it's like I have a flashlight and a piece of paper. I've got to find another way around, or I've got a flashlight and a knife, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 enemies there, or I don't know that there's enemies there, but there could be enemies there. But I know back where I was there were no enemies, so maybe I should go back to where I was and try to figure out a different path. And it's like Silent Hill is not about fighting the enemies. Like Resident Evil is like, I have one bullet. When should I use this bullet?
I remember.
Silent Hill is Man, a gun or any kind of weapon would be really nice right now.
How did you like PT if you played it or anything like that? Have you
have not played PT yet.
Seen the Let's Plays though.
Yeah, seen the Let's Plays.
Freaky, and the conspiracy theories behind it are awesome.
Yes, they are. Oh my goodness. But I've gotten a chance. I actually have it on the PS4 the demo for PT and shit. But I have to say, I'm really enjoying it because I haven't enjoyed a Silent Hill game since Silent Hill 2. Yeah, I really did not enjoy any Silent Hill game. Well, no, Downpour was pretty good for me.
Yeah, well, two other ones that I really enjoyed were kind of a horror game, part puzzle platformer, part dating sim. Catherine is a game I always give huge props to. I love that game. That is one of my top. That is maybe my top game for Xbox 360. This might be number 2 because Mass Effect is what made me go, I need to get a 360 because it was an exclusive at the time. Because I mean, Halo 2 was great, but I could play it on my regular Xbox. I had no reason to play it on 360. Halo 3, Mass Effect came out before Halo 3. Mass Effect was like, yeah, I've got to play this game. Is so great because I used to play it over at a GameStop or EB Games, and I played it, but you could only play a certain amount of it, and you kind of would have to hope that somebody didn't have a story progressed so far along that.
Yeah, that's why I tried not to really go like to the GameStops and stuff to really play the games. It was like I would go there to test it out. Like I would try to say, like, give me to the next combat. Let me see how the combat is, or let me see how you can build your character. And that's what made me fall in love with Mass Effect. I actually did not play the first one first. I played the second one when it came out, and then that made me go and buy the first one and play the hell out of that. Then go into 2 and take out my character from the first one into the second one, and I just fell in love. I didn't like the third one that much, but yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was a fitting ending to the game.
It wasn't the ending that upset me. It was more or less like certain aspects of the game. For instance, I was trying to, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't played this game in a while, but I had to find an artifact on another planet while the Reapers were chasing me. And as soon as planet, like, oh no, the Reapers are here. You gotta move. And like at that time, I had no fuel in that engine, and I was like, come on now. Now I gotta restart, and I died.
I understand. But at least you didn't have to scan the planets anymore.
No.
Holy crap, that was annoying.
That was very annoying. Trying to find all the iridium and whatnot.
Unobtainium.
Yeah.
I wish it had been.
While the sun is still good, you might get some shots of the trees. Because this is a whole other landscape. We've gone from desert to now it's like green again.
Yay!
Do you have my camera somewhere? I don't know where it is.
Keanu, oh wait, it's in my pocket.
Awesome. If you can get some shots of just, while the light is the way it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much, Felix.
You're welcome. But yeah, it's funny. Like I said, my another game I really loved was and another game I always recommend whenever it's on sale on the Xbox store. American McGee's Alice Madness Returns.
I've wanted to play that. I've never got the chance to play.
You know what's great about it? Because I played the original one back in the day. And when you buy you can buy the new one, and you can also, when you get the new one, you can buy the, because normally when they have one on sale, they have the other on sale too, but you can get the first game as DLC, and it's the full game. And I will say it plays way better with a controller than it ever did with a keyboard.
Really?
Despite what the PC Master Race may say. PC Master Race.
Jesus. I can't stand like the PC console wars, just like I can't stand Xbox and PlayStation and whatnot. I mean, if you'd like to play games, please.
Yeah.
Gamers here.
Yeah, seriously. And anyway, yeah, I think that makes for a good video CarCast.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you for joining us as we talked about sports. I'm not sure if these two remember that there was a camera on this entire time.
Actually, I did, and I was just busy. I didn't even know that was recording.
Yeah.
As we know from our good officer friend.
Yeah. Keanu, do I have permission to post it? Yeah, no,
that's fine. Yeah, that's all right.
But yeah, thank you for joining us on this CarCast. I have to empty this cache because I've used up all 32 gigs.
Jesus.
And yeah, I'm going to empty it into my hard drive, and then we're going to start doing this again.
Sweet.
Yep. From the Burnie Journey, this is Frisco Flame and / Felix.
This is K-Von D, aka Keanu.
This is Dominic the Driver, aka Count 3D.
Peace, peoples. Thanks for watching.
Peace.